Welcome back, everybody. I'm so glad to see all of you. Today, we are going to start with our series on exponents. Right, so what is an exponent? An exponent is a number, as you can see there, that shows how many times a base is used as a factor. Like always, it's better to look at an example. You can use exponents to show repeated multiplication. So say, for example, we can say 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, right? So we are multiplying. Look at the definition. How many times a base is used as a factor? So we are multiplying 2. 2 is our base. And we are multiplying it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, right? So then 4 would be our exponent. So you can use exponents to show repeated multiplication, but now if you multiply a number by itself, the answer is a square number. So we're going to focus on square numbers and cube numbers. Okay. Keep that in mind. So a square number, for example, if you multiply 3 by 3, so it is 1, 2, so it's 3 to the power of 2, and that will give us 9. So 9 is a square number. Another example, if you multiply 2 by 2, 2 then to the power of 2, because it's 1, 2, that equals 4. So 4 is a square number. Now, if you multiply a number by itself 2 times, the answer is a cube. So 3 times 3 times 3, so it tells us 3 to the power of 3, and that equals 27. Can you do this with me? 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. Yes, we got our multiplication chart. So 27 is a cube number. Let's do 2. 2 times 2 times 2. 2 to the power of 3 is equals to 8. So then 8 is a cube number. Okay, so let's do more of these. Say we do a square, we've done 2, but let's do 1. 1 times 1 will give us 1 to the power of 2, and that will give us 1 times 1 is 1. We've done 2, we've done 3, so let's do 4. 4 times 4 equals 4 to the power of 2, and 4 times 4 is 16. Let's do one more. Let's say 6. 6 times 6 equals 6 to the power of 2, and 6 times 6 is 36. Now on the cube side, let's do a 1 again. So it's 1 times 1, can you remember? It is a number that is multiplied by itself twice. So let's go. 1 times 1 times 1. So this equals 1 to the power of 3. This equals 1, because we know 1 times 1 times 1 is always be 1. But let's do something that we're not doing here. Say 5. 5 times 5 times 5 equals 5 to the power of 3. Let's see if we can do this one first. 5 times 5 is 25, and 25 times 5 is, who got it first? 125. We can do an easier one for 3. 3 times 3 times 3 equals 3 to the power of 3, and that is giving us 27. Okay, now number in exponential forms is what I said, 2 to the power of 6, for example. This is when we write a number in exponential form. Now we know the 2 by now. A square number is a number multiplied by itself, and a cube number is a number multiplied by itself twice. But it doesn't stop there. We can carry on as many times as possible. Say, for example, here we've got 2. 2, 1, 2, 3 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we multiply the base to itself 5 times, so it's 2 to the power of 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 to the power of 4. So when you write the number of times that a natural number appears, like for example, we've got the example, we call this the exponential form. Cool. Right. Now, numbers in exponential form. So when we find the number written like this, 5 to the power of 6, for example, we read it as 5 to the power of 6, where 5 is the base and 6 is the exponent. Please remember this. They love to ask this in a test. So again, stop the screen, write this down to make sure that you have this. And that's the beauty of the product. You can then just carry on, right? So 5 to the power of 6. So 6 is the exponent and 5 is the base. And this whole, what we call an expression, is called the power. So here we've got it. Power is an expression to show that a number is multiplied by itself a number of times. Now, just for your interest, another word for exponent. In some books you will find they use the word index and the plural is indices. So just if you find that, then you know they actually refer to exponents. Okay, now let's go back to square numbers. Now I want you to refer to your multiplication chart that we made right in the first lesson. And I want you to circle the first 12 numbers, first 12 squares. Now let's do this together. 1 by 1 is 1. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. Now can you see the pattern? 4 multiplied by 4 is 16. 5 by 5 is 25. 6 by 6 is 36. So you can see the pattern. It's this diagonal line, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this diagonal line from X in the left-hand top corner to 144, on that straight diagonal line, we've got all our square numbers. Now, it's very cool, but I want to suggest that you write them down or you save this slide. So it is very good to have to just know this. It's going to come in very handy. We've got a few things by now, right? We've got our multiplication chart. Remember, we've got our prime numbers, the list of prime numbers from 1 to 100. It's just good to have these square numbers and to try and memorize them. Okay. And then just as good would be to try and memorize the first 5 cube numbers. So remember, 1 times 1 is a cube number because of for 1. 2, the cube for 2 is 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. And 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. You can always work it out, but it's just like nice if you can try and memorize the first 5 over a few days. Okay. Now, what is a perfect square and a perfect cube? I will explain. A perfect square is a numbers that are the product of a number multiplied by itself, right? So 7 times 7 is 49. So 49 is a perfect square, okay? So these are natural numbers. What is a natural number again? Yes, whole number is all the numbers from 0. Natural number is like a counting number, right? So a natural number multiplied by itself is a square. 49 is a perfect square. You will see in a minute why I'm stressing this. So a perfect cube, can you imagine what a perfect cube is then? Correct. A number that is obtained by the multiplication of the same number 3 times. Like 7 times 7 times 7 is 343. So 343 is a perfect cube. Okay, so now, there's always such interesting things in mathematics. So what about 1? And I want you to please follow with me. And again, if you don't follow, you can always go back and listen. Any number raised to the power of 1 is equal to the number. So 5 to the power of 1 is 5. So as this number only occurs once, so there's 5. You're not multiplying with anything, it's 5. Okay? So 5 to the power of 1 equals 5. Now you're going to ask me, what about 0 then? So any number raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. You can believe me or you can challenge me. It's just very good to know this. So I'm going to try and explain. There are very many ways to explain this. I'm going to explain it like, I think, in the simplest way that makes a lot of sense. So say we start with 5 to the power of 4. That gives us 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, and that gives us 625. You can check it, but that is 625. Now if we go one smaller, 5 to the power of 3 will give us 5 times 5 times 5, and that will give us 125. Okay? Now, if we divide 125 into 625, we'll see that goes in 5 times. So if we lower our exponent by 1, our answer is getting 5 times smaller. So let's see if this pattern will carry on. So 5 to the power of 2, 5 times 5, this will give us 25. And again, 25 goes into 125 5 times. Right. 5 to the power of 1 then equals 5. So 5 divided into 25 is also 5 times. So then obvious, if you go to 5 to the power of 0, you're going to divide 5 by 5, and it's going to give us 1. And you can try this with anyone. Let's try 4 to the power of 4, whatever. The same thing will apply. Wherever you come, you make this one exponent smaller. It will do the same as the base. You can divide this by the base and you'll find that it is 5 times smaller, or if the base is 4, 4 times smaller. So it's logical, right? So if you get to 5 to the power of 1 is 5, and now you make it 5 times smaller, that your answer would be 1. But it's very important just to remember that any number to the power of 0 is 1. Now, you can remember, I hope, we did this in lesson 2, inverse operations, right? So I'm going to quickly remind you of that slide. Remember, addition and subtraction are called inverse operations. Ooh, can you remember what that means? Okay, in other words, if you add and subtract the same amount from a number, you end up back where you started. Say, for example, 20 plus 10 is 210. Minus 10 is back to 200. So that is inverse. And remember, we use that with our multiplications and with our additions and subtractions to make sure to check our answer. So the same then with multiplication and division. They are also inverse operations. Similarly, if you multiply and divide by the same amount, you also end up back where you started. So if you multiply 200 by 10, you get 2,000. And if you then divide it by 10, you're back to 200. Now, the same with square numbers and a square root. A square root is just the inverse operation of squaring a number. Okay, so if a square root is the inverse operation of squaring a number, then it means that we have the square number and we are trying to find the root. Similarly with a cube. Okay, so a square root, for example, then is, say we want to find, so 3 equals, and this is our sign for square root, 3 times 3, or square root of 9, that will give us 3, right? So remember how we do it. The 3 times 3 equals 9. Now if we want to find the square root of 9, it is back to square root of 3 times 3 equals 3. That is the inverse operation. The same with the cube. If 2 times 2 times 2 will give us 8, right? The perfect cube. So if we want to find the cube, so we always put a 3. I'm going to make it nicer that you can see. We find the cube root, we always put a 3 there. So the cube root of 8 will then be exactly that. The inverse, 2 times 2 times 2, and that will give us 2. Okay, right, let's do some examples. That's always the best way to do. Okay, now they ask us to write these numbers as powers of a number, right? So there is 4 times, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So is this one correct? They're going to ask you if that answer is correct. I can hear, no, what must it be? It must be 4 to the power of 5, because we're multiplying this base 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I'm so glad you saw that. Let's do the next one. Write down the square of 8. Okay, so the square of 8 is 8 to the power of 2. So that means it's 8 times 8, so we end up having 64. If you know it, congratulations. If you have to refer to your multiplication table, I hope you notice that it's in that diagonal, on that diagonal line. Now, this is a little bit, but I hope you can see it. They asked the cube root of 27. So I'm going to rewrite it here. The cube root of 27. Now, in other words, it's the inverse of the perfect cube. So it's going to be 3, and we're going to say 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. So the cube root is 3. Now they ask us, they're getting smart now. Now they ask us which one is larger. That's very easy. We're just going to work it out. They ask us which is larger, 2 to the power of 5 or 5 to the power of 2. Can you see there? It's 5 to the power of 2. Which one is larger? So we're going to take this challenge, right? So we do 2 to the power of 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it gives us 32. And 5 to the power of 2 is 5 times 5, so that is 25. So which one is larger? 2 to the power of 5 is larger than 5 to the power of 2. Isn't this fun to work with exponents? Now it's your turn, but I'm going you to stop, do it, and I'm going to return and I'm going to work this through this whole I think it's got two screens. I'm going to work with you. Okay, right. How did you do? Okay, so they ask us, express each number as a power of a natural number. So if we know our square numbers by now, we will immediately know, yes, I can see, it is 3 to the power of 2. And what is 27 then? Yes, 3 to the power of 3. Congratulations if you got that correct. Okay, now we're doing the other way around. They ask us to write the following products in an exponential form. So here we've got 2, the base, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is 2 to the power of 4. And 6 then would be, the base is 6, so it's be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our exponent is 6. Congratulations if you got that one right. And the last one on this page, write out the squares of these numbers. And that should be so easy now, right? I hope you've done it without looking at your multiplication, but I will forgive you this time. 7 times 7 equals 49. They ask the square of 7. And the square of 8, 8 times 8 equals 64. Let's go to the next page. Write out the cubes of these numbers, right? So what does that mean? So that means we have to multiply 20 times 20 times 20. So who got the answer on this one? And who used the easy method? Remember, it's easy to multiply by 10s or 20s because we just multiply the front section and then we add the zeros. So this is 8,000. And the same with 10. 10 times 10 times 10, and that gives us 1,000. Okay. Now they ask us, which is larger? Oh, we've done the example, so this is easy now, okay? So which is larger? 2 to the power of 3. So we're going to say 2 times 2 times 2 equals, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, or 3 times 3 equals 9. So which one is larger? 3 to the power of 2 is larger than 2 to the power of 3. Well done if you got that correct. And now let's a little one with 1. Let's play with ones here. 1 to the power of 4. So it is 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. And we know the answer is 1. And then 4 to the power of 1 is 4. So which one is larger? 4 to the power of 1 is larger than 1 to the power of 4. Now they ask us to write down the square of 9. So the square of 9 is 9 times 9. And what is the square root of 9? It is 3 times 3, that gives us 3. Who got this last one correct? I'm so impressed if you managed to do this. This is awesome. So now we're going to do more in the next lesson. It was so nice to see you today. I hope to see you next time.